Cooper Marcher here. In my CCC update on Monday, I mentioned that Auntie Pam and Uncle Kev are in Norway, and I mentioned something about more daylight. But I wanted to follow up on that since I know you're always on a quest for information, just like I am. Norway is a country of raw beauty and dramatic landscapes, so it's perhaps not a surprise to learn that one of the most remarkable natural phenomenon occurs there. Dubbed as the land of the midnight sun, Norway is one of the very few locations where sunset merges into sunrise, with no darkness in between, and that is why it's called the land of the midnight sun. The midnight sun only occurs at certain times of the year, and is only visible very close to the Arctic. Norway is ideally placed to experience this eerie yet captivating sight. But what exactly is the midnight sun, and why does it occur? Well, I've got the answers to all those questions. In the simplest terms, it's exactly what it sounds like: the sun appearing at midnight. In the middle of the night, when the sky is normally a velvety blanket of darkness, the sun can clearly still be seen. At the Arctic Pole, the midnight sun can be seen for 6 months at a time, continuously and without a break. The further you move south, the less time the midnight sun is visible. In northern Norway, it can be seen from late April until August. As you move away from the Arctic, the strength of the midnight sun begins to weaken. At the pole, the midnight sun will shine as brightly as if it were noon. In Norway, the sunlight is dappled, more like the early evening before gradually brightening again for the following day. Therefore, although there's no distinction between one day and the next, it remains light. There's a visual change in the brightness. In Nordkapp, the sun shines for 1,800 hours without interruption. That's right, you heard me. A total of 75 days. This phenomenon occurs every year, as it's not due to some strange aberration, but due to physics of the Earth and the sun. The sun rotates completely every 24 hours, and it's this movement that creates night and day. However, the length of daytime and nighttime hours is not equal, and this is because the Earth is tilted on its axis by 23.4 degrees. If it were completely perpendicular, there would be a fixed night and day of 12 hours each. In addition to the Earth rotating around on its own axis, it's also circling the sun. This orbit takes 1 year to complete. As it moves around the sun, the tilted axis means that at times part of the Earth will be closer to the sun than others. It's also why summer occurs at different times in the year in the north and southern hemispheres. During the summer months, when the hemisphere is tilted toward the sun, the poles experience sunlight for the full 24 hours. The further away from the pole you travel, the more diluted the effect of the sun becomes. Therefore, European countries which aren't as far north as Norway never get to experience the golden night times of the midnight sun. As the Earth continues its orbit and the tilt of the hemispheres gradually move away from the sun, the darkness of night slowly returns. During the winter season, the exact opposite of the midnight sun occurs, with polar nights. During polar nights, the sun never rises fully, bathing the landscape in a bluish light like twilight during the daytime. So there you have it. How weird is that? And you know what? My mom doesn't need the midnight sunshine because she's got me. Cooper Marcher here. Ciao.